We metal player will continue our conquest. First action, we're going to go activate this size 3 happy city. We'll collect 2 ore, 1 food, and 1 moo token from the port. Second action, we're going to activate the same city again to build 4 army units by using 3 ore, 3 food, and a moo token because we have draft. And since we activated the CT twice on the same turn, it's no longer happy. Third action, we're going to move our 4 army units here to attack the lemon people. Since we metal player are the attacking player, we will first announce that we will be playing an action card. And we lemon people will also play an action card. We'll play archers. Roll a die for each of your units, and if you acquire 1 hit, your opponent will remove 1 unit before making his combat roll. So now we will roll 4 dice for the archer. So that's definitely at least 1 hit. So we remove 1 of the metal people's unit before the combat even started. Wedge formation. If attacking, get +1 combat value to your roll for each enemy army unit. So we will get +4 since the 11 people have 4 army units. We now roll for our 3 remaining army units. Excellent. 15 +4 is 19, so 3 hits. And because we have steel weapons, so that's 4 hits in total. And now we roll for 4 dice for my 4 army units, +1 from the fortress, so 5 dice in total. So that we have 21, +2 from our fanaticism, because we have a temple, so 23. So that's 4 hits. Now, they both scored 4 hits, but the fortress will cancel 1 hit in first round. So actually it's 3 against 4. So all of the blue armies are eliminated, and only 3 of the yellow armies are eliminated. And now, as part of the same move action, we're going to spend 1 food to use rolls to move 2 spaces, and also spend 1 gold as ore to ignore the mountain terrain, and we're going to attack 1 more. For this attack, we will simply play this action card. High morale, add +2 to your combat value. And we will once again also play an action card. Prepare defense. If you are the defender, add an extra die to your combat roll. So now we roll 4 dice. So that's 13 +2 is 15, so 3 hits. And because of a steel weapon, it's actually 4 hits in total. And now we roll 1 die for the army, and 1 for the fortress, and 1 for the combat card. So 3 dice in total. So we have 16 +2 from from fanaticism, so that's 17. No, 18, my bad. So we still only made 3 hits. 1 of the hits will be cancelled by the fortress, but still, that's enough to eliminate my 1 army right there. And I eliminated 3 of the metal people's armies. And because it was a size 3 city, we get 3 gold as a reward. And we get a settler as a refuge. And we also get an army unit because of our fanaticism. When we lose a battle in a city with temple, we get 1 free army unit. And we now have completed the aggressor objective. Immediately after eliminating at least 2 army units in a battle you started against another player. I did it in the first battle, not the second one, so I got another 2 extra points. We're now going to pay 2 Mu token to use our absolute power to get an extra action this turn. And for the extra action, we're going to pay 2 food to get a new advance. We're going to get forced labor. So now if I pay 1 Mu token, all my angry cities will act as neutral for this turn, although they can only still be activated once. And with this, the metal player's turn has now finished. Oh, I'm so frustrated right now. Damn that metal player. I must somehow get back at them. But first, I completed the daring objective immediately after winning a battle against a player with more warfare offenses. So the metal player had more warfare offenses than I do. And I won the first battle against him, so I've completed this objective. For our first 2 actions, we'll activate both of these cities. We'll collect an ore, a food, and a lumber. An ore, a food, and a lumber. For our third action, we're going to spend the 2 food to get a new offense. We're going to get writing. And we increase the culture level by 1 and get a culture token. And since we already have a government offense, which is theocracy, we also draw 1 new action and 1 objective card. And now we also must draw an event card as well. The event we drew is the Great Warlord. The first player to pay 1 culture token on his turn may as an action both get a free warfare event, take a move action, 1 resulting battle may be fought with an extra die each comeback roll. This is crazy. It would be crazy if the metal player gets to use this. And also, I must place an exhaustion token. We have to play this in adjacent to 1 of our cities. We will place it here. That place no longer produces any lumber. And this ends the lemon people's turn. Wow, I think we have to be careful of the metal player. They are really aggressive in this game. But we're going to take advantage of the fact that they just spent a lot of resource fighting the lemon people. So right now they have no action cards whatsoever. And this city is not very well defended. So we're going to try to take that city this turn. So for our first action, we're going to move this army here and this army right here. And for the second action, we're going to pay 1 culture token to play the event card that the lemon people just drew, the Great Warlord. So now we can get a free warfare event, and we only have 1 left, which is the Siegecraft. And also, we can do a move action, and we're going to attack the metal people's city, and we can roll an extra die each combat roll, not just the first round, but each subsequent rounds as well. So that's going to be very useful to us. So moving these 2 units here to attack. And since both me and the metal player have steel weapons, the bonus doesn't apply, so we don't get +1 hit in the first round automatically. And I don't want to play any action card because I know the metal player doesn't have any action cards to play. So now I roll 2 dice for the 2 armies that I have, +1 because of the Great Warlord event card I just played. So I roll 3 dice. Oh, wow, that's terrible. So just 1 hit, which is cancelled by the fortress. So it's just no hit at all. So now they get to roll, the metal player gets to roll 2 dice. We have 1 army and 1 fortress, so that's 2 dice. 1 hit. So we lose 1 army. And now I have the option to retreat if I want to, but no, we're gonna keep on going. So I roll 1 die for my army and also 1 for the Great Warlord event. So 2 hits. And now it's our turn. We only roll one die because the fortress bonus only applies in the first round. 4. So they missed. We eliminated the last army right here. And this is now the green player's city. And since when I attacked the city, it was already angry, I don't get the 3 gold as a reward. And the metal player does not get the free settler as a refuge in any of his cities. I don't actually have the myth offense, which is required to build a temple. But that's okay, I can still have a temple here in my color. I just don't get any benefits that the building might provide. For my third action, we're going to spend the 2 gold to get a new offense. And because of a free education right here, I get 1 Mu token because I used 2 gold to get the offense. And the offense that we're going to get will be monuments. So we will increase the culture level by 1 and get a culture token. And now we get to reveal a new wonder, review the top wonder, and then I can pick any wonder and only I will be able to build that wonder at no action cost. So let's take a look. So by owning this wonder, you win any ties for victory points at the end of the game. When this wonder is built, its city may make 2 cultural influence attempts at no further action cost. And it also requires ritual. Not very interesting. I don't want to build this wonder. It's not very useful to me right now. What I am going to pick is the Great Gardens. So it was out there for quite a while already. So now only I can build the Great Gardens. I can do it at no action cost. And why not? Because I actually have enough resources. So I have 5 culture token, 5 food, only 2 lumber, but I have 2 gold which I can use as lumber, so that's 4 lumbers, and 2 ore. So I can now build the Great Gardens, and I'm going to do that. So all my culture are gone, all my food are gone, all my lumber, my gold, and my ore. They're all reset to 0, unfortunately, but I got a wonder. So drum roll, please. Our Great Gardens will be built in this city right here. Dun, 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 dun. Well, because it's like really hard to get to, so I'm not too worried about players trying to, take over the city and get that points away from me and such. And I complete the wonderful objective immediately after building the first wonder of the game, which I just did, so I got 2 points. And the wonder itself is 5 points, so that move alone just gave me 7 points. I think that's a pretty good turnout. I'm going to use absolute power to pay 2 Mu token to get an extra turn. And we're going to use the special power of our Great Gardens. As an action, let's move it over here. Pay 1 Mu token to increase the Mu of one of your cities by 1 step. So we're going to spend the rest of our Mu token. And we're going to make this city neutral just by spending 1 Mu token. Pretty good deal. And that's all 4 actions that we're going to do at the end of our turn.
Okay, so this turn, we're going to take back this city that's rightfully ours. And I think the metal people is very weakened right now. They spend a lot of resources trying to take over the lemon people. First thing first, we have 3 trade routes and currency, so we get 3 gold. And now we're going to play an action card, Inspiration. Duplicate 1 offense that another player's civilization has at no food cost. You must have a unit or city within 2 spaces of a unit or city of that player. So we're going to use this card to duplicate the engineering from the metal player. So now we get to draw the top card of the Wonder deck, and we got the Great Lighthouse. We're not really interested in the Wonder, we just want to get to roads, really. But you get a ship after building the Wonder, and you can move the ship after activating the city with the Wonder. and it had to be built on the city with a port. So that's great, but not very useful to us. We're going to use another action card, text exchange. You and another player may duplicate one of each other's advances at no food cost. You choose first. You must have units or cities within 2 spaces of each other. So again, we're going to duplicate the metal player's tech again, and with this time we're going to get roads. And we have to increase the culture level by 1 and get a culture token.
And we metal people will duplicate the writing events because we really need some action objective cards right now. So we already have the autocracy government, so we can draw a new action and objective cards. We now must increase the culture level by 1, get a culture token, and also draw an event card. We get famine. All players lose 1 food, but everybody has irrigation. So nobody lose any food.
For our actual first action, we're going to spend an idea and a food to get steel weapons. And we have to pay 2 ore in addition to get it, so we're going to pay the 2 gold instead as ore. And next, we're going to pay a gold as a food and a gold again as an ore to use roads, so that my unit can move 2 spaces and ignore the forest. We'll move this settler over here, and we'll move our army units 2 spaces to here, and because we pay for roads, we can move again to here. Normally, you cannot move from a forest to attack the city, but I ignore the terrain by paying 1 ore, so I can do that. And now the battle begins. And as the attacking player, I'm going to announce we're going to play an action card right here. Archers. So basically you roll a die for each of your units, and then if you get 1 hit, you remove 1 unit from the metal player before we start the combat.
A metal player does not plan to play any action cards.
So we'll roll the 3 dice for our 3 units, and that's indeed 1 hit. So we remove 1 of the metal player's units. And now the actual combat begins. And now, since both we, the tomato player, and the metal player have steel weapons, the +1 hit bonus does not apply to any of us. So that is 11, so 2 hits. And now the metal player will roll 1 hit. Okay, so we each lose an army unit, and we successfully got our city back. But since the city was angry before I attacked it, we don't get any gold rewards, and the metal player doesn't get any free settlers as refugee. And for my third and final action, we're going to activate this city to collect a gold from the port and, I don't know, a food, I guess?
We metal player did not complete any objective during the status phase. For our free events, we're going to get Siegecraft. We can cancel the fortress ability to attack by paying 2 wood, or to cancel a hit by paying 2 ore. The lemon people completed 2 objectives this status phase. First, we have well stocked. You have at least 3 food, 3 ore, and 3 wheat resources. We have way more than that. We also completed ore. You have at least 5 ore, and then we're gonna pay 2 ore to complete the objective. For the free events, we're going to get priesthood. So now, science advances can be bought at no food cost, although only once per turn. And we, green player, completed 1 objective, the Art of War. Let me just show you here. You have all 4 warfare advances, which I have right here. So 2 more points for us. And for the free events, we're going to get fishing. So we can start building ports and collect some mood tokens. We increase the happiness level by 1, and we get a mood token as well.
The tomato people did not complete any objective this round, and for our free events, we're going to get economic liberty. So our first collection action each turn has no action cost, but every subsequent collection will require 2 mood tokens to do it. It will still activate a city though.
Alright, that's the end of round 4. A lot of things happened, and it was kind of cool how players were fighting each other to take over the cities. And I think we did pretty good. We built a wonder, we got some objectives completed. I think we're way ahead in terms of points right now, but there's still 2 more rounds to go, so things can still happen. And I already drawn the new objective and action cards for each player. I'll show you at the end of the video as usual. And nobody wants to get rid of their size 1 cities. And the green player has a combined happiness and culture level of 12. The lemon has 10, the metal has 11, and the tomato has 9. So we once again get to decide who goes first next round. And I think we're going to make the tomato player first again, because I think going last certainly has its advantages. Alright, thank you for watching, and hope you will join me again in the next video as we continue to find out who's gonna come out on top in this game of Clash of Cultures. I will see you then.